Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, Blue Shows, Desolations, peasants, vassals, friends, subscribers, commenters. I'm a useful idiot. Today I'm going to go after topics a little bit different, and that is the topic of cyber communication. And in this day and age, of course, everybody is indulging in all kinds of cyber communication, and emails and texting, and of course we have technology on us. Well, I shouldn't say we, because I don't have a bunch of that. I don't have a cell phone and all that kind of crap. I don't text, I don't tweet, I don't Facebook, I don't do any of that stuff. But I do YouTube, and I use emails, and I'm an old-fashioned guy, and I used to like to write letters, and I had a long history of writing written letters. And now we live in this modern age when people use emails. And it's, to me, it's very comparable to letter writing in the old days. But of course, since society has changed and everything's disposable and there's short attention spans, and we live in a post-MTV world, of course, everybody doesn't use this technology the way that I do. And that's just the nature of the game. Everything is devalued when there's more of it. And so all this cyber communication is just overload, and everybody misses what the possibilities are. We've had, of course, predecessors to that idea. We had television. Television was supposed to bring information to the masses, and of course, in the end, it just brings a lot of trash to the masses. And then cable that was supposed to take over from all the trashy TV and bring us wonderful programming that didn't depend on corporate sponsors. But then, of course, then they smelled the money, and the corporate sponsors came in, and now cable's got more trash on it than TV could have ever imagined in their lives. But I digress. Let's get back to cyber communication. And I've had a lot of discussions about this over the years, and I have a different feeling, because once again, I'm from a different era. And I've enjoyed, and I've been thinking about this issue for a couple of reasons. Because one, I really enjoy being in contact with kindred spirits here on YouTube through my channel. And although it's fairly demoralizing sometimes to not have more exposure, like I've often said, if I was popular, obviously I'd be doing something wrong. So what has instead happened is this is a great way to have an outlet for these ideas and these thoughts. Try and offer a little island of sanity in YouTube, and mostly it's turned into connecting with kindred spirits. So this is to all those out there, you who are not timid spirits, you YouTube warriors out there who actually persevere with me, while many less timid, or what I like to call pussies, have bailed a long time ago. 490 subscribers in the first year. But again, I digress. So I thought of that because of the subscribers, and I also thought of it because of a comment made by one subscriber, Apagugu. And here's a guy that's been around for a little bit, and he made something about made a comment on one of my videos, and he said it's important to keep tabs on the kooks out there. And I totally agree. Just as I skim things on mainstream news, I skim television, I skim a lot of garbage on YouTube, not so much because I'm throwing away time and because I'm not spending much, but as an anthropological study to see what's going on out there. What is the bewildered herd being exposed to? But that made me take it a step further and just start thinking about this whole idea of cyber communication. And there's been a lot of critiques that it has degraded human relationships and interaction and the ability to communicate with other people. In a lot of ways, that's true. Once again, for people who use all this technology in the wrong ways, of course, encouraged by their makers. But this idea of email, and this is also comparable to the comment section in YouTube's, to me it's like letter writing. And it's an opportunity to connect with another spirit and another intellect without all the distractions of what they look like, what their body language is, what their intonations are, what they're wearing, what kind of environment you're in, all these other things. You're actually dealing with a pure bodiless intellect, a pure bodiless spirit. And people can express language is very interesting and complex, and people can express a lot of things through words. They don't necessarily need the embellishments to make the meaning known. And I know a lot of people feel differently. They feel like it's necessary to have the intonation and the body language and everything to truly communicate. But myself, being somewhat of an intellectual, I appreciate the purity of this kind of communication. And like I say, it reminds me of writing letters, and that gets to the heart of like why people are not necessarily using this technology the most constructive way. I use emails to write letters, and people can get them instantly. But of course, in this day and age, I never get too many replies back, and certainly people don't write letters. And so anyway, that's certainly getting to be a lost art, but not in my house. And so I take my hats off to cyber communication. I like the idea of communicating with spirits and intellects out there. And it's particularly relevant to me because, I've grown up my last 56 years, and I remember amassing a fairly good vocabulary at a fairly young age, and was already interested in a lot of complex ideas. But as my life went on, when I'd see people yawning when we would talk about deep subjects, or they seemed perplexed by my vocabulary and the language I used, in order to make people more comfortable around me, I purposely would try and simplify things as quickly as possible and spit them out as quickly as possible so that maybe I might just hold their attention for 1 or 2 minutes. And then I also dumbed down my own vocabulary so that people wouldn't be uncomfortable around me. This is also a result because I was a military family, so I was the new kid every year, year after year, for the first 17 years of my life. So anything I could do to blend in with the natives was to my advantage. And so anyway, now it's interesting because when I write letters and emails now, and I speak on these videos and I write comments, I can generally use a lot more of my actual speaking style, my vocabulary. I can use profanity, clearly being humorous rather than angry, and all these other methods of communication using language. And I also don't have to dumb things down too much. I will say that I try to make things clear so that everybody can grasp the absolute insanity of some of these ideas that are hard to grasp because they're a little more complex, and they count on that complexity to keep people confused. So anyway, but I do also will caveat that I do understand the pitfalls of cyber communication. One of my favorite YouTubers, G Free, really liked his channel and still do, but he and I had a falling out because I was a total asshole because we had a misunderstanding about some cyber communication. And it was really as simple as that. And I admit, when I'm crossed, not only do I have a very extensive vocabulary and imagination for analysis, information, and history, I also have a pretty vast vocabulary and imagination for insults and verbal retribution. So anyway, there is a good example of how cyber communication can certainly backfire without all the other bells and whistles and embellishments. But for the most part, I want to take my hats off to cyber communication because lost arts of connecting with another intellect and connecting with another spirit are being lost in our modern age. And I'm sure our handlers are pleased about that. I, for one, am not. I'm a useful idiot. Verily I say unto you, don't thou be one too.